Welcome to Insights into Insurance from the A-Team at Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.
It's a Saturday morning. That means it's time once again for our Insights into Insurance program here on 1450 KATE. Mike White is your host along with Tom Sorensen from Americana Insurance. Tom, it's a cold Saturday, but we've got a hot topic to talk about once again on this Saturday.
Well, you always got a hot topic, Mike. Today we're going to do something a little different, out of the ordinary for Insights into Insurance. First of all, we don't have an email, do we?
No email.
No email. So what I want to talk about today is, first of all, us at Americana Insurance Group, we do a lot of things for the community. We do things that we are community involved, or we also sponsor many things, many items, we like sponsoring a lot of youth events, things like that, athletics to anything from, could be orchestra, could be after prom, things like that. And we, not only in Albert Lea, but Glenville, Alden, all the area schools. Well, and also as I was growing up, I was one of the kids that was all about athletics. That was my life. That's all I thought about, okay? And as I've grown older, and I have had a daughter, and she's 30 years old now, but she was all into play and orchestra. Music and theater, basically, was her. And then I have a son that was into sports, athletics, but what I found throughout life is not all kids are just about sports like I was. And there's a lot of different...
There's different avenues that you can...
Different avenues, yeah. Different interests that these kids have. And today we have a special guest. You know, he's been a guest of ours quite a few times, Mike.
We always welcome him in.
Yeah, but he's going to be wearing a different hat today. It's Jeff Laskowski of Albert Lea Fire and Safety, but actually he is the coach of the new, what do we call it, Albert Lea Trap Team?
Yep, the Albert Lea Tigers Trap Team.
The Albert Lea Tigers Trap Team, Jeff. And so it's a brand new team, brand new sport for Albert Lea, right?
Correct, yeah. We have a couple other teams in the county, Glenville, Emmons, Alden, Conger. They've had teams for a few years. And now we've got the opportunity for Albert Lea. Afton, before she had left the school system, she was working with me. We were able to get a team put together. The new athletic directors worked with us very well at keeping the team rocking and rolling. And this spring, we get to actually have our inaugural season of going out and shooting trap with the students.
And this is sanctioned by the Minnesota State High School League, so it's more than just, some people are maybe wondering, well, is it a club? Is it actually a school function? It's under Albert Lea High School, so it is sanctioned by the state of Minnesota.
Correct, yeah. That was the really nice part, is that has been accepted by the Minnesota State High School League. There's a lot of other sports that are out there that haven't been accepted as a high school league. When this league first came into fruition, it was not accepted in the high school league yet. Now it has. Just like the fishing one, it would be great to have that a high school sport. Minnesota High School League hasn't accepted that as a high school sport yet, so that's why that one hasn't been pulled into having with being associated with the school.
And this is a function, it's a sporting event, but it has really taken off in the last few years statewide. Last year, over 330 teams competed at the state level. So this is one of those things that has really taken off around the state, not just here in southern Minnesota.
Yeah, it's taken off all over the place. My son shot with Glenville Emmons last year since we didn't have a team here in town. I got the opportunity to coach with Dwayne Coonan down there with the team to kind of learn the ropes and kind of get a feel for it. It was amazing going to state tournament. We were there the first day because Glenville Emmons had 19 kids on the team, so we were first day trap shooting, and just amazing how many teams were there. 10 days straight of trap shooting with high schools. The last couple days, there's actually only like 5 schools at the trap range because they got 150 to 200 kids on their team.
Wow.
It's the second largest sport as far as number of athletes in the state of Minnesota. Football's just ahead of it. If trap shooting can count down to 4th grade too, it would probably be the be the biggest sport, but you have to be at least 12 years of age to be in it. In Albert Lea, we've got it set at that you have to be 7th grade or higher to be in it, just to simplify things.
One of the things with this too, Jeff, is it's not just about a sporting event. There's things that go along being part of this trap team. Let's talk a little bit about, and some of this can relate to Americana Insurance and the insurance side of it, but it's not just going out with a gun and shooting. There's ethics, there's safety, there's insurance. It's a whole gamut of things put together, as we say in the insurance, putting those pieces together. But let's talk a little bit about that, because I'm sure people are listening and saying, oh boy, we've got 7th graders now, they're going to have guns and bullets.
Well, and Mike, you're exactly right. That's why Americana Insurance is such an advocate for this trap team, is just for what you said, is it's not about just going out and shooting a gun. It's what Jeff and the team, and he's going to explain what they do about growing up with and knowing how to operate a gun, right?
Yeah. The philosophy with the Clay Target League is number one is safety. The second one is fun. They want kids to have fun, and then learning marksmanship. So that's the philosophy behind the league. The safety is number one. To this point, I believe it was either 01 or 02 is when the league actually got going. They haven't had a single injury within the sport since the beginning of that, because they influence safety big time. That will be part of our range safety. We'll be talking about range safety, keeping guns down range. We have it set up that no kids will be taking guns to school with them. There won't be any guns in vehicles, because we're shooting Sundays and Monday evenings, so everybody has time to either come from home or go home and get guns and stuff like that. So there won't be anything in the school parking lot violating any state laws. We'll teach them how to keep guns safe at home, which fits right in with homeowners insurance.
Right.
Make sure you keep them locked up, keep a gun lock on them, just to have everything safe, so that way we can continue to enjoy the outdoor shooting sports without having any of those major issues.
Where are you guys going to do your trap shooting at, Jeff?
So our home range this year currently is going to be the Owatonna Gun Club up in Hope, Minnesota. That's where we're going to shoot. They had availability to fit us in. Last year my son shot with Glenville Lemons. We actually shot over in Austin. They've got so many kids and so many different teams already shooting up there. They have no room. That's how big this thing has gotten. The Austin one actually has some Iowa teams that come up and use the Austin range as their home range, because in Iowa you actually physically have to stand side by side with the other team that you're competing against, so they do traveling. The really nice part about the Minnesota League is there's very little traveling other than to your home range to shoot. It's a virtual league, which with that virtual league also teach ethics to the students. It's pretty easy to cheat if you want to try to cheat your score, stuff like that, because there's nobody standing next to you other than your teammates and your coach. But that's the big part of it, is teaching those ethics, to be honest about what you have shot. If you say that round is going to be a practice round, it's a practice round. If you say it's going to be a league round, it is a league round. You can't shoot a practice round and shoot a perfect 25 and go, I want to change that over to a league score. Nope, you chose as a practice round. That was your practice round. If your league score was a 23, that's what you get, is that 23.
Well, that's why Mike's not a coach.
Yeah, that's our biggest thing.
Well, and the other thing that we can talk about here before we take our first break is the safety part of it. Myself, I know my brothers are outdoorsmen. They shoot bear, they shoot elk, they shoot deer, but I'm on the other side where I don't know even how to shoot a gun or put the ammo in. This is something that you as a coach, Jeff, and the entire team, they're going to learn. There's probably some kids out there that do know how to go out and shoot, but for those kids that maybe are sitting on the back saying, that sounds like a lot of fun, but I just don't know how to do any of that stuff, that's where the teaching and the safety and the ethics all come together.
Yeah, that's exactly where that comes in. We actually do have a few kids that have joined the team that have never shot a gun before, never shot trap. They've held a shotgun maybe once, but never shot a shell. So the nice part is with the league, there's online safety training for those that don't have hunter safety, gun safety already completed. So they can complete the league safety training, and then I'm certified with the league to go out and do a range safety day. So we'll actually physically go on the range, do the shooting event just like you would for a gun safety or hunter safety type course, to prepare them and teach them the ethics and the safety behind how to keep yourself moving forward.
Let's take a quick break on our Insights into Insurance program here on 1450 KATE. We'll come back and talk more about the new Albert Lea Trap Team, and some of the things that go on with that as far as how many students they have and some of the equipment and fundraisers that they're going to be looking at as they move forward to the spring opening here in Albert Lea. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back more with Jeff Laskowski, the coach, and Tom Sorensen from Americana Insurance here on KATE 1450.
You got a side that wants more space, 'cause every day starts like a race. You got a side that loves that style, but to fit in those shoes gonna take a while. Today life's got you running, tomorrow big things are coming. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
To learn more about how Nationwide can help protect your many sides, call Americana Insurance Group in Albert Lea and Wells.
Welcome back to our Saturday edition of Insights into Insurance. Mike Whitus, along with Tom Sorensen from Americana Insurance, and Jeff Laskowski, the head coach of the trap team for Albert Lea High School. We're talking about the new event that'll come starting up here this spring. It's a sanctioned event for Albert Lea under the Minnesota State High School League. Jeff, before we took the break, we talked a little bit about the conference and how all that, let's go into that a little bit more so people do understand that at this point, until all the registration is done, we really don't know what conference Albert Lea is going to be in. Different than, is it a Big Nine conference? Is it Section 1, Section 2? All of that stuff will eventually be worked through.
Correct, yeah. The nice part about the league is it's a completely virtual league, so all scores are logged online. The only travel you have is to your trap range to go and shoot at that trap range. We will be doing some invitationals, and then the state championship shoot up in Alexandria. That's really the only travel you have for the team. But yeah, you don't know until registrations close here towards the middle of March which teams you're shooting against. I know last year when I was shooting with Glenville Lemons, when my son was shooting down there, there was one team up in the Iron Range we were taking on just because of they look at number of students on your team. They don't look at your school size. They look at the number of students. We're sitting at 32 currently right now. We got about 3 or 4 on the fence whether or not they're going to shoot with us. So we're going to be somewhere between that 30 and 35 athletes shooting with us. So we'll be put into a conference with other teams that have those similar numbers, 30 to 35. Everybody gets to participate. That's the cool thing about the league. They say you don't get a participation award. Your participation award is you get to participate. And then so with about 30 to 35 kids with that, we'll have to minimally record. It'll be probably somewhere between 25 and 27 scores each week. Obviously, we want to keep all kids eligible academically, so that's a big piece for us. And then with that, then the top 27 scores go in for our score for our team. So that way, if somebody misses because they're sick or they miss school because of something, you have that little bit of leeway with that.
Interesting that the number of students, when you look at now in the wintertime with the basketball team, you can only, there's only so many basketball players on the court. There's so many wrestlers on a wrestling team. There's so many. But now everybody's going to be able to participate on a weekly basis. Not, well, I wonder if I can make weight in the wrestling program, or I'm not shooting very good as a basketball player. You all get to compete, and that's something I think is very unique in this type of a sport.
Yeah, that's what's very unique with it. Everybody gets to participate with it. Like I said, that's their biggest push, is that they want all kids to participate. Even from the kid that hits one target out of 25 to the kid that shoots a perfect 25 out of 25. Everybody gets to be out on that range and shoot. Nobody has to stand back and watch. The only time they have to stand back and watch is if they don't stay academically eligible. So that's going to be a push for us. Our school system requires quarterly that their grades are checked. We're going to actually be a little more stiffer on that as far as what we're going to require. We're going to follow the league's requirements, which is weekly grade checks. If the student has poor grades the first week, that's basically their warning week. They're still allowed to shoot. If that second week they still are considered academically ineligible because of grade-wise, then they're academically eligible that next week until they get their grades back up. So.
Mike, I'm out.
Tom is done. He won't be a part of it. He can maybe stand back and help the other kids.
Yeah,
and of course, the shootings will take place on Sunday and Monday. And they can still participate in other sports, or is it strictly they have to be with one sport?
And that was the big push with this when we started looking at it. We didn't want to be pulling people from other sports, taking kids from other sports. We wanted the other activities to have those opportunities because it's associated with Minnesota State High School League. We can be associated with the school, but we are actually a separate club-type program. So we do have the opportunity to utilize Sundays. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to use Sunday afternoons, somewhere around 1, 2 o'clock. We'll head up and go up to Watana Trap Range and shoot our rounds on Sunday, so that way the kids that want to be in track and field, baseball, all the different golf, all those different activities, they can still do those activities.
Of course, and coming up this Monday night, a fundraiser to keep things rolling, the Burger Basket over at the Moose Club right next door here, 5 to 7 p.m. You've got silent auction items, and why not help the team out with a burger?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. We've been trying to do a bunch of different fundraisers to help the team. It is a costly thing. Obviously, there's no money coming from the school on it. Just like any activity like that, you got to go raise the funds. It's about $500 a kid between the shells, the shooting, invitationals, uniforms, league fees. All that stuff costs about $500 a kid. So we're trying to bring that cost down through some different fundraisers. We've had huge support from our community through a letter writing campaign, people sending in money, awarding us grants, getting the opportunity to come on a radio show like this to be able to promote our information, and just the outpouring of the parents for the help with everything. It's just been a great event for us so far with everything, to have everything in place. So.
Make sure that everybody knows Burger Basket tomorrow night.
Monday night.
Monday night. Sorry, Monday night at 5 to 7.
5 to 7 at the Moose. Yep, we got a bunch of silent auction items. Kate Radio donated some basketball tickets for us. We're going to be doing a silent auction with that. The Moose, along with Bob Sorensen with his gun shop, has actually donated a Browning BT-99 red, white, and blue trap gun. About an $1,800 gun. They're going to be selling raffle tickets for that. They're going to be doing a raffle separately and then donating back to the team. They're going to only print 25 tickets for that. They're going to be $100 a ticket, but they're only printing 25 tickets. So a great opportunity and win a trap gun. If you want to buy a ticket but you don't want the trap gun, they'll also offer up $1,000 cash if you choose to not take the trap gun. So,
Jeff, your contact information, if there's someone listening in this morning has a grandchild, a son, a daughter that want to participate, how do they get a hold of you?
Easiest is probably my cell phone at 701-739-0000. Otherwise, my email is jlasko51@hotmail.com.
Or they can call us here at the radio station. We'll pass along that information as well. As always, best of luck. New season coming up this March with the Albert Lea High School Trap Team. Jeff is the coach. And Tom, thank you for giving back to the community with Americana Insurance.
Oh, no problem. This is something that I really am a big advocate for. And also, Jeff and the Albert Lea Trap Team has a Facebook page.
Yes, Facebook page. Albert Lea Tigers Trap Team.
Like it.
And if they have questions, Tom, about their insurance?
507-377-2000.
That will be the number for Americana Insurance. And if you didn't get the number, contact information for Jeff, you can just give us a call here at the radio station. We'll pass that along as well. That'll do it for this Saturday edition of our Insights into Insurance program here on Kate 1450.
You've been listening to Insights into Insurance from the Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.